What's up, everybody? It's E here, and this is another episode of Vision Matters. Today, I have with me Lester London. I knew him before as Famey Miscellany. Now he's Lester London. How you doing today?
I'm good.
From Philly.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing?
I'm good. I can't complain. I just been creating, working, mad projects just in the works right now. Just staying consistent right now. You know, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. So I'm gonna start because, like I said, like when I first, like when you was first brought to my attention, you were Famey Miscellany, and so I remember that, and then now you're Lester London. Like, so what was the journey to this? Like, what's up with the rebrand? Like,
well, originally it was just because I didn't want to use the name Fame anymore because I had so many variations of the name Fame. Like first it was Fame, and then it was Young Fame, and then it turned to Y Fame, and then people would call me Famey because of that. So I was like, I'm gonna just be Famey, but then I was like, no, I want an alliteration, so I'm gonna do Famey Miscellany, and then I made a company called Miscellany Creative, but I'm just like, I'm just so tired of this name. I felt like it was it wasn't real enough for me, and I feel like it was too many things attached to it, too many negative things. Like I went through so many negative emotions with all of those names, and it's like, I guess it's like cutting off your hair, just like, how they say if you cut off your dreads, like you cutting off your past experiences. I felt like it was kind of like that for me, and I wanted to feel fresh again. For doing music for so long, it just became like, it's hard to describe, but it just became like not fun for me anymore. So I just wanted to do something really authentic. And, me having a respect for my father, I'm named after him. So I wanted to bring his name to the light, and London came from, that was what my mom was going to name me at birth. She wanted to name me London because my last name is Bridges. Okay. So my name would be London Bridges. Yeah. So she wanted to call me Lonnie for short.
Got it at school. London Bridges falling.
I still did. In elementary, they would say Lester Bridges falling down.
Oh, they still got you.
Yeah. But I laughed with them though because I thought it was funny. But so I just took the two names and I was just so sold on Lester London. Actually, I sat on the name for about 4 or 5 years before I actually changed it. And then one day, I was just like, you know what, man, like, there's no better time than now to do it. Yeah. So I just went and did it, and started the rebrand and all that. I'm still not finished my rebrand, but, I'm on a good path right now, and I feel good about it. The whole name change and rebrand, I feel real good about it, and there's some good things gonna come from it.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Now you talk about that you didn't. Music wasn't fun for you anymore, and I'm really surprised by that because like you're like the ultra creative. You draw, you produce, you rap. So what made it not fun for you anymore?
The business, the industry. It's just not a fun thing to be a part of. Sad to say. I mean, we are pursuing this thing, but in our reality, it's inevitable. You're going to run into some negative things. The different personalities, the contracts, the politics. It just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And you really consider like not doing it anymore. So, like I said, like when I got signed to Jerry Wonder, I was with him for 7 years, and of course, when you first sign, it's great. You never had these type of experiences before. You in these rooms with these famous people, and you around money, and you get to make music all day. But
it's the dream that you was chasing this whole time.
You was chasing a dream, but it's like there's things that come with it. Like my particular situation, I was super broke, you know, I didn't have any money. So there was a studio in New York called Platinum Sound. So I would sleep in the studio, and people don't know, like I was just in there, I was just making music. Well, they knew that, but they didn't know that I would go like 2-3 days like without food, like without eating. Like I was just in there just like sweating, making music, you know. Not to say that somebody put me through that like a sweatshop. Like I did that to myself, you know what I'm saying? It's just that you don't want to be like begging your label owner for money, you know what I'm saying? So I guess it's like a pride thing too. But you know, the different personalities you come across, the egos and stuff like that, it just makes it not fun. And then there's, you know, certain ways that they say you have to make music. You know, you got to do this, you got to make this certain type of record. Like,
what year was this?
This was around, well, when the negative things started to show themselves, I'll say it was around like 2013, 2014.
Yeah, especially because around that time, I feel like that was when like the whole internet music thing really started to pop, and like people started just to be like, oh, like I want another that, so you need to do the same thing type thing.
Right, exactly. And you know, I had got so fed up with it that I moved to I did a video shoot out in Florida, and I liked Florida so much, and I was disliking my situation so much at that time that I just stayed in Florida, like whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I was out in Florida for like a year. Then
Were you still creating at that time, or you just
okay. I was still creating out there. I felt like I just needed to break away from my situation. Although I was still signed, I just moved. I was like, fuck it. But I got back, and me and Jerry, we had a talk, you know what I'm saying, and I re-signed, and just more of the same thing, you know, just 2 more years of the same thing. It was just, I don't know, but it comes a time where you just have to, like, you gotta let it go and move on. You know, so that was me in 2017. I just said, you know what, man, I'm not going to re-sign. I'm going to just try something new. Yeah. You know, so.
So was it the business aspect altogether, or just that particular situation?
It was both. It was both. It's like, you know, like being an independent artist today, you know, you can own everything. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't really get to fully experience being a solo artist in today's age. You know what I'm saying? It's like at 21 I got signed. So I'm expecting these things to happen when I first got signed. But you know, it was like, yo, I wonder what that's like being an independent artist and, you know, doing everything on your own and getting a profit from your music. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was the business and the situation. You know, I needed something new. I just needed something new, you know.
So now as an independent artist, you know, how is that different? Like, because a lot of creatives out there, you know, now being independent is starting to be the wave. Like before, you know, I can remember coming up, it was you got to get signed. That was the wave. But now it's more, let's be independent. Now that's the wave. So, like, I want to talk about the process of being independent and what it really means in terms of your creativity.
I think it means finding a balance because you're independent, but you still got to live a life, you know, and life still, it comes, you know what I mean? So you got your financial situations, and doing everything on your own. You really have to do everything on your own. You know, you got to find your team, or hopefully they find you. It's more work. It's just more work being an independent artist. You think you got to work. Actually, you know what? When you get signed to a label, you're not just under that label, then a machine takes care of everything. You actually have to do more work when you are signed.
Yeah.
You know, like that's not the end all be all, but being an independent artist is just, you got to find that balance, and it's difficult finding that balance because you want to make music all day and you want to put music out all day, but you can't. You know, you gotta pay bills, you got a phone you gotta pay, you know, you got rent you gotta pay, you know, and you gotta eat. So that means finding either a side hustle or a job, you know. So that's the difficult part for somebody like me, because since a young age I've always made music, and that's all I did, and that's all I ever wanted to do. You know, so making music, I wasn't interested in anything that had to do with life. Like, yo, I don't need no friends. I got one best friend, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I make music and I don't need to do nothing else. I'm gonna get money from this. This my end all be all. You know, but at the same time I was young, you know what I'm saying? And now you're being older, you gotta start taking care of yourself. And that comes, you know, those two, they come into conflict with each other. Yeah. Wanting to be an artist and trying to live life. The shit is hard.
Yeah, no, it is.
It's hard. It's hard as hell. And, you know, to anybody prospering and making do with it, should really give themselves like a pat on the back, because it's one of the most difficult things ever.
Yeah.
You know, and getting people to understand it is even more difficult.